Zanzibar, island in the Indian Ocean, lying 22 miles, 35 kilometers, off the coast of East Central Africa. In 1964 Zanzibar, together with Pemba Island and some other smaller islands, joined with Tanganyika on the mainland to form the United Republic of Tanzania. Area 600 square miles, 1,554 square km. Pop. 2007 EST. 713,000. Before the development of Eastern African mainland ports, Zanzibar was the trade focus of the region and enjoyed an important entrepot trade. The island's economy now depends on agriculture and fishing. Considerable areas of fertile soil and a favorable climate enable the production of a variety of tropical crops, most importantly cloves and coconuts. Local food crops, such as rice, cassava, yams, and tropical fruit, are also important. Fish is an important part of the diet, and local fisheries employ perhaps about 1/10 of the population. The southern and eastern portions of Zanzibar Island have been mainly populated by a Bantu-speaking people known as the Hadimua. The northern portion of Zanzibar Island and the adjacent Tumbatu Island have been occupied by another Bantu-speaking people known as the Tumbatu. These two groups represent the earliest arrivals in Zanzibar. Throughout the 19th century, and after, they were expropriated from the western and more fertile parts of the island by later arrivals, notably Arabs. The nationalization of land in 1964, however, was followed by economic reforms that redistributed the land. Fishing has traditionally been highly important in coastal villages and remains so. The language most widely spoken is a highly Arabicized form of Swahili, Kiswahili. Among the Arabs, the language of the home is usually Swahili, and use of pure Arabic is confined to scholars and recent arrivals from Arabia. Gujarati, Hindi, Urdu, and Konkani are spoken by the Asian communities, and English and Swahili are widely used and understood. In 1963 the Sultanate regained its independence, becoming a member of the British Commonwealth. In January 1964 a revolt by leftists overthrew the Sultanate and established a republic. The revolution marked the overthrow of the island's long-established Arab ruling class by the Africans, who were the majority of the population. In April the presidents of Zanzibar and Tanganyika signed an Act of Union of their two countries, creating what later in the year was named Tanzania. Zanzibar is an insular semi-autonomous province which united with Tanganyika in 1964 to form the United Republic of Tanzania. It is an archipelago in the Indian Ocean, 25 to 50 kilometers, 16 to 31 miles, off the coast of the African mainland, and consists of many small islands and two large ones, Unguja, the main island, referred to informally as Zanzibar, and Pemba Island. The capital is Zanzibar City, located on the island of Unguja. Its historic center, Stone Town, is a World Heritage Site. Zanzibar's main industries are spices, raffia, and tourism. In particular, the islands produce cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, and black pepper. For this reason, the Zanzibar archipelago, together with Tanzania's Mafia Island, are sometimes referred to locally as the Spice Islands. Tourism in Zanzibar is a more recent activity, driven by government promotion that caused an increase from 19,000 tourists in 1985 to 376,000 in 2016. The islands are accessible via 5 ports and the Abeid Amani Karum International Airport, which can serve up to 1.5 million passengers per year. Zanzibar's marine ecosystem is an important part of the economy for fishing and algaculture and contains important marine ecosystems that act as fish nurseries for Indian Ocean fish populations. Moreover, the land ecosystem is the home of the endemic Zanzibar red colobus, the Zanzibar servaline genet, and the extinct or rare Zanzibar leopard. Pressure from the tourist industry and fishing as well as larger threats such as sea level rise caused by climate change are creating increasing environmental concerns throughout the region. On December 10, 1963, the protectorate that had existed over Zanzibar since 1890 was terminated by the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom did not grant Zanzibar independence as such, because the UK had never had sovereignty over Zanzibar. Rather, by the Zanzibar Act 1963 of the United Kingdom, the UK ended the protectorate and made provision for full self-government in Zanzibar as an independent country within the Commonwealth. Upon the protectorate being abolished, Zanzibar became a constitutional monarchy within the Commonwealth under the Sultan. However, just a month later, on January 12, 1964, Sultan Jamshid bin Abdullah was deposed during the Zanzibar Revolution. The Sultan fled into exile, and the Sultanate was replaced by the People's Republic of Zanzibar, a socialist government led by the Afro-Shirazi Party, ASP. Over 20,000 people were killed, mostly Arabs and Indians, and many of them escaped the country as a consequence of the revolution. In April 1964, the republic merged with mainland Tanganyika. This United Republic of Tanganyika and Zanzibar was soon renamed, blending the two names, as the United Republic of Tanzania, within which Zanzibar remains an autonomous region. The 2002 census is the most recent census for which results have been reported. The total population of Zanzibar was 984,625, with an annual growth rate of 3.1%. The population of Zanzibar City, which was the largest city, was 205,870. Around two-thirds of the people, 622,459, lived on Unguja, Zanzibar Island, with most settled in the densely populated west. Besides Zanzibar City, other towns on Unguja include Chini, Mwini, Mangapwani, Kwaka, and Nungwi. Outside of these towns, most people live in small villages and are engaged in farming or fishing. The population of Pemba Island was 362,166. The largest town on the island was Chake, with a population of 19,283. The smaller towns are Wheat and Mkoani. Mafia Island, the other major island of the Zanzibar archipelago but administered by mainland Tanzania, Tanganyika, had a total population of 40,801. Zanzibari speak Swahili, Kiswahili, a Bantu language that is extensively spoken in the African Great Lakes region. Swahili is the de facto national and official language of Tanzania. Many local residents also speak Arabic, English, Italian, and French. The dialect of Swahili spoken in Zanzibar is called Kiunguja. Kiunguja, which has a high percentage of Arabic loanwords, enjoys the status of standard Swahili not in Tanzania only but also in other countries, where Swahili is spoken. Zanzibar's population is almost entirely Muslim, with a small Christian minority of around 22,000. Other religious groups include Hindus, Jains, and Sikhs. The Anglican Diocese of Zanzibar was founded in 1892. The first bishop of Zanzibar was Charles Smithies, who was translated from his former post as Bishop of Nyasaland. As an autonomous part of Tanzania, Zanzibar has its own government, known as the Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar. It is made up of the Revolutionary Council and House of Representatives. The House of Representatives has a similar composition to the National Assembly of Tanzania. 50 members are elected directly from constituencies to serve 5-year terms, 10 members are appointed by the President of Zanzibar, 15 special seats are for women members of political parties that have representation in the House of Representatives, 6 members serve ex officio, including all regional commissioners and the Attorney General. 5 of these 81 members are then elected to represent Zanzibar in the National Assembly. Unguja has 3 administrative regions, Zanzibar Central/South, Zanzibar North, and Zanzibar Urban/West. Pemba has 2, Pemba North and Pemba South. Concerning the independence and sovereignty of Zanzibar, Tanzania Prime Minister Mzungu Pinda said on July 3, 2008 that there was nothing like the sovereignty of Zanzibar in the Union government unless the constitution is changed in future. Zanzibar House of Representatives members from both the ruling party, Chama cha Mapinduzi, and the opposition party, Civic United Front, disagreed and stood firmly in recognizing Zanzibar as a fully autonomous state. Zanzibar is one of the Indian Ocean islands. It is situated on the Swahili coast, adjacent to Tanganyika, mainland Tanzania. The northern tip of Unguja Island is located at 5.72 degrees south, 39.30 degrees east, with the southernmost point at 6.48 degrees south, 39.51 degrees east. The island is separated from the Tanzanian mainland by a channel, which at its narrowest point is 36.5 kilometers 22.7 miles across. The island is about 85 kilometers 53 miles long and 39 kilometers 24 miles wide, with an area of 1,464 square kilometers 565 square miles. Unguja is mainly low-lying, with its highest point being 120 meters 390 feet. Unguja is characterized by beautiful sandy beaches with fringing coral reefs. The reefs are rich in marine biodiversity. The northern tip of Pemba Island is located at 4.87 degrees south, 39.68 degrees east, and the southernmost point is located at 5.47 degrees south, 39.72 degrees east. The island is separated from the Tanzanian mainland by a channel some 56 kilometers 35 miles wide. The island is about 67 kilometers 42 miles long and 23 kilometers 14 miles wide, with an area of 985 square kilometers 380 square miles. Pemba is also mainly low-lying, with its highest point being 95 meters 312 feet. The northern part of the island presents elevated volumes of trash in the streets, beaches, and the ocean, mostly plastic bottles, other plastics and cigarette butts. There is indiscriminate dumping in residential areas. Medical equipment waste is a particular problem on the island. Tourism in Zanzibar includes the tourism industry and its effects on the islands of Unguja, known internationally as Zanzibar, and Pemba in Zanzibar, a semi-autonomous region in the United Republic of Tanzania. Tourism is the top income generator for the islands, outpacing even the lucrative agricultural export industry and providing roughly 25% of income. The main airport on the island is Zanzibar International Airport, though many tourists fly into Dar es Salaam and take a ferry to the island. The government of Zanzibar plays a major role in promoting the industry, with the official government tourist page stating that its goal regarding tourism is to become one of the top tourism destinations of the Indian Ocean, offering an upmarket, high-quality product across the board within the coming 17 years. Zanzibar Commission for Tourism recorded more than doubling the number of tourists from the 2015/2016 fiscal year and the following year, from 162,242 to 376,000. The increase in tourism has led to significant environmental impacts and mixed impacts on local communities, which were expected to benefit from economic development but in large part have not. Communities have witnessed increasing environmental degradation, and that flow of tourists has reduced the access of local communities to the marine and coastal resources that are the center of tourist activity. The energy sector in Zanzibar consists of unreliable electric power, petroleum, and petroleum products. It is also supplemented by firewood and its related products. Coal and gas are rarely used for either domestic or industrial purposes. Unguja, Zanzibar Island, gets most of its electric power from mainland Tanzania through a 39-kilometer, 100-megawatt submarine cable from RAS Kiromani, near Dar es Salaam, to RAS Fumba on Unguja. Zanzibar has 1,600 kilometers, 990 miles, of roads, of which 85% are tarmassed or semi-tarmassed. The remainder are earth roads, which are rehabilitated annually to make them passable throughout the year. There is no government-owned public transportation in Zanzibar. The privately owned daladala, as it is officially known in Zanzibar, is the only kind of public transportation. There are 5 ports in the islands of Unguja and Pemba, all operated and developed by the Zanzibar Ports Corporation. The main port at Malindi, which handles 90% of Zanzibar's trade, was built in 1925. Zanzibar's main airport, Abeid Amani Karume International Airport, has been able to handle large passenger planes since 2011, which has resulted in an increase in passenger and cargo inflows and outflows. Since another increase in capacity by the end of 2013, it can serve up to 1.5 million passengers per year. The island can be reached by flights operated by Air France, Auric Air, Coastal Aviation, Lufthansa, Ethiopian Airlines, Kenya Airways, FlyDubai, Mango Airline, Qatar Airways, Turkish Airlines, and others. Zanzibar's most famous event is the Zanzibar International Film Festival, ZIF, also known as the Festival of the Dhow Countries. Every July, this event showcases the best of the Swahili coast arts scene, including Zanzibar's favorite music, Taarab. 128. Important architectural features in Stone Town are the Living Stone House, the Old Dispensary of Zanzibar, the Giliani Bridge, Ngome Kongwe, the Old Fort of Zanzibar, and the House of Wonders. The town of Kidishi features the Hammamna Persian baths, built by immigrants from Shiraz, Iran during the reign of Barghash Ben Said. Zanzibar also is the only place in Eastern African countries to have the long settlement houses formerly known as Michanzani Flats. The flats were built with aid from East Germany during the 1970s to solve housing problems in Zanzibar. In 1973, Zanzibar introduced the first color television service in sub-Saharan Africa. Because of long-standing opposition to television by President Julius Nyerere, the first television service on mainland Tanzania was not introduced until 1994. The broadcaster in Zanzibar called Television Zanzibar, TVZ, had recently changed name to Zanzibar Broadcasting Corporation, ZBC. Following an enactment of an act to make it a public corporation, monitored under the Ministry of Finance by the Treasurer Registrar. Among the famous reporters of TVZ during the 1980s and 1990s were the late Alwiya Ala'i (1961–1996), the elder sister of Inat Ala'i, famous Taarab singer during the 1980s, Nima Musa, Sharifa Maulid, Fatma Mzee, Zainab Ali, Ramadhan Ali, and Kamis. Zanzibar has 1 AM radio station and 21 FM radio stations. In terms of landline communications, Zanzibar is served by the Tanzania Telecommunications Company Limited and Zantel Tanzania. Almost all mobile and internet companies serving mainland Tanzania are also available in Zanzibar. In 2000 there were 207 government schools and 118 privately owned schools in Zanzibar. Zanzibar has 3 fully accredited universities: Zanzibar University, the State University of Zanzibar, SUZA, and Sumate University, previously University College of Education, Chikwani. SUZA was established in 1999, and is located in Stone Town, in the buildings of the former Institute of Kiswahili and Foreign Language, Taki Luki. It is the only public institution for higher learning in Zanzibar, the other 2 institutions being private. In 2004, the 3 institutions had a total enrollment of 948 students, of whom 207 were female. The primary and secondary education system in Zanzibar is slightly different from that of the Tanzanian mainland. On the mainland, education is only compulsory for the 7 years of primary education, while in Zanzibar an additional 3 years of secondary education are compulsory and free. Students in Zanzibar score significantly less on standardized tests for reading and mathematics than students on the mainland. In the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, national service after secondary education was necessary, but it is now voluntary and few students volunteer. Most choose to seek employment or attend teachers' colleges. The IIT Madras set up a campus in Zanzibar, which began classes for the first batch in November 2023. Football is the most popular sport in Zanzibar, overseen by the Zanzibar Football Association. Zanzibar is an associate member of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, but not of FIFA. This means that the Zanzibar national football team is not eligible to enter national CAF competitions, such as the African Nations Cup, but Zanzibar's football clubs get representation at the CAF Confederation Cup and the CAF Champions League. The national team participates in non-FIFA football tournaments such as the FIFA Wild Cup and the ELF Cup. Because Zanzibar is not a member of FIFA, their team is not eligible for the FIFA World Cup. The Zanzibar Football Association also has a Premier League for the top clubs, which was created in 1981. The teams also participate in the FA knockout competition, Zanzibari Cup, and the Mapinduzi Cup, a knockout competition organized in early January between 6 to 13 January to mark the Revolution Day, January 12. Cricket was historically popular in Zanzibar. In the 1950s and 1960s, the island hosted touring teams from England, India, Pakistan, South Africa, and Uganda, but the sport declined following the 1964 revolution. Zanzibar contributed some players to the East Africa cricket team in the late 20th century. Efforts to revive the game in the 21st century have been led by Indian firms, with plans announced in 2022 for an international-grade cricket ground in Pemba with the support of the Zanzibar government. Since 1992, there has also been judo in Zanzibar. The founder, Tsuyoshi Shimaka, established a team that participates in national and international competitions. In 1999, Zanzibar Judo Association, ZJA, was registered and became an active member of the Tanzania Olympic Committee and International Judo Federation. Notable people: Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of Tanzania since March 19, 2021. Said Salim Bakrisa, billionaire business tycoon born in Zanzibar, chairperson of Bakrisa Group of Companies. Abdul Razak Gurna, winner of the 2021 Nobel Prize in Literature, born in Zanzibar in 1948 and emigrated to Britain as a student in 1968. Lubina Hamid, artist and winner of the 2017 Turner Prize, born 1954. Salama Jabir, journalist, TV host, media entertainer. Javed Jafarji, award-winning photographer and publisher, received the Almanac's Top 100 Africans for his work in promoting Africa worldwide. Bikijid, Tarab singer of Tarab and Unyago music, received Womex Award in 2005. Farouk Malik, Ugandan official and spy under Idi Amin. Freddie Mercury, born Farouk Bulsara, British singer of the rock band Queen, born in Stone Town, at the age of 17, fled with his family to the United Kingdom during the Zanzibar Revolution. Sidi Binti Saad, pioneering artist in Tarab. Thank you for watching this video.